one thing that I've noticed when it comes to the pandemic response, and collectively, be it with the scientists, I mean, you can actually say the scientists and the government, the state go hand in hand, which is why I said that institution has long been compromised. But with it being the science, the doctors, and the guys that are being paraded around as the quote unquote experts. And I was just thinking about how I noticed how they don't seem to actually want you to be healthy. Think about it. They don't actually want you to be healthy. When was the last time, or if any, not that last time, anytime throughout this entire pandemic, where the government suggested that you should and encouraged you to actually, and led like an actual, like a campaign to get you to start, let's say, taking care of your body and working out? You haven't heard it at all. And I'm sitting here like, well, we know, according to their own experts, that people with these comorbidities that have these, obesity, lack of vitamin D, are the ones that are generally struggling, the ones that are hospitalized. And it seems that they don't even care that you are healthy, which is why they don't suggest that you should start taking care of your body if you are obese or in an uber vulnerable class. Instead, just shut down, stay in a bubble, and they treat you as if you're sick. Everybody must wear a diaper on your face, and if you don't, then you are the one that is responsible for spreading the virus, because it grants immunity. Though we have talked about on this channel how even with the mask mandates, doesn't seem to be getting the results that they claim. Nonetheless, the top thing that they suggest is vaccines and waiting on this vaccine. And even with Fauci, it's another bait, which is why I don't understand why y'all are still listening to these guys. Fauci said that you still should, despite a vaccine, you should still be social distancing and covering your face. Again, the suggestion almost is never on taking care of your body. In fact, they've told you that they don't care about that, because one of the first things to go when it came to shutting things down were what? The gyms. The gyms. That was the first thing that they shut down, acting as if it was not necessary. They shut down the gyms. And then when some of these cases where, like you have in these different states or cities or counties where they're entering into more lockdowns, they went back to seeing as if looking at it as if the gym owners and the gyms themselves were not essential. They don't actually want you to be healthy. They want you dependent. They want you to sit here and wait for a savior, be it in coming by with this vaccine that has a 90% effective rate of 90%, though the survivability rate of the virus is 99%. You can draw your own inferences there. I don't want to be called a conspiracy theorist and get my video taken down because I suggested something maybe funky. Let's say that. But the government and their experts and their scientists and their doctors that work for them, that advise them, and unfortunately we have to, our whole entire lives have to change based upon what they say, because they're the experts, right? Hardly ever suggest that. They hardly ever suggest that you need to get healthy. They don't encourage you to work out. They shun you actually for it. You shouldn't be doing it if you're in a gym, all of this other stuff, because it's not safe. And I don't find it bizarre. I think that would be the wrong term. I just find it an odd thing in the sense of how people can still listen to this garbage, right? And still, take their words as if they care about them, right? As if these experts or the government officials, the politicians, the county judges, if they actually care about you, when there is something that you can do, that would increase your survivability in the event that you were to catch this virus. Let's work out. Something simple as that. Let's work out. And I told you, I'm not one of those like body positive kind of guys. I've never been that. I've never been that guy. Never been that guy. And I don't say this because I've been an athlete my entire life. I say that because I think if you are to actually care about someone, you should have enough of the, you know, big enough gonads to be able to tell them when they are harming themselves. And I know there's people that are overweight that follow me. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I know there are people that are overweight that follow me. I understand. But in the same respects, you know who you are. You know what you are. And I've never been that guy that was like, well, you're just okay the way you are. No, you're not. And you need to get that shit fixed. Otherwise, it could come back to bite you. Not just with COVID, but with other heart diseases and other sorts of diseases that are generally associated with that sort of stuff. I want you guys to take care of that, care of your body, and I would encourage you to, whether it be in the kind of food that you eat, the consumption of it. And it's just so odd to see all of these people talk about mask all day long, and even very, very overweight people lecturing me about mask. And you know, it's always hilarious. You know, you go to Walmart, you see some food ride so big that they can't even walk around the goddamn Walmart, right? And they have to get one of those little riding carts, and they sitting here with their mask covered. And I'm like, bro, you got other problems that you need to work out. And I'm not saying that whether they should or should not wear a mask. I'm more so speaking to the fact that it goes to show how people look, and this is what the government gave them with the mask. They look for these very temporary, you know, acting as if they could save you, grant you immunity, block you from a sickness, block you from something that can happen, and you wait around for them to save you instead of you saving yourself, which is not something that they want. And that's government in general. Independency is not a good thing. Sure, we know that this is why you hear about so many athletes. You've hardly ever heard of an athlete dying from this or even being hospitalized from this. You hear almost every week, well, so-and-so, if you watch football, so-and-so is out due to COVID, he caught COVID. Never go into the hospital or anything. It's just, well, he tested positive and they won't let him compete. We talked about this early on in the pandemic. Freaking Rudy Gobert was about to play a freaking basketball game and he had it, right? It's a reason why those guys in the best shapes of their lives. We've talked about Cristiano Ronaldo on this channel and how he was pissed at the PCR test because it's giving him this positive test. And he's like, dog, there's nothing wrong with me. Why do you think they can handle it so well to where they'll never, ever go to the hospital? They'll never need to go to the hospital. It's because they are generally healthy people. And that's why I encourage you to start taking, this would be the time that you would think it clicked where the government would say, if they cared about you, and I hope that you're not still on that wagon and you thinking they do. But let's say if we were on Earth 2 in the bizarro world or something like that, another dimension where they did give a crap about anything that it was that you did, then they will be encouraging you now more than ever to start taking care of your body. Whether it be in the food that you eat, exercise and stuff like that, it almost is never on the table when it comes to this virus. It's not even a suggestion. You know how long that was? So what? We've been doing this for what, 7, 8, 9 months. You know how much weight you could have lost in that period of time? Just think about it. I'm being dead serious. If you took that shit serious, you know how much weight you could, in 7 to 8 months, you could be fucking shredded. Like, seriously. That is a very, very, very long time. But they didn't suggest that, right? They never suggested that could have been or that was something that you should have done. It was always stay in a bubble, wait for us to come save you. Oh, here's a mask that will help you, grant you this immunity. No, they can't back that with any sort of actual data. but it grants you immunity. Here's your mask. And then wait a minute, we'll be able to reopen soon, and we'll be able to get you out of this sticky situation with a vaccine. Never is it about how about you take care of yourself and your body, because they don't want you to be healthy. They want you controlled. And unfortunately, a lot of narcissistic, egotistical jackwagons that are in government will absolutely use this as a means to position themselves in terms of power, in terms of clout, and using this whole pandemic to do that. Because if they can position themselves as heroes, that comes with not only financial incentives, but a certain, a lot of these people who love to have the spotlight, Andrew Cuomo, right, who he can't get off the damn TV. It's like he just loves seeing himself, right? That's why they position themselves in the way that they do. Hey, I'm here to help. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. And we're going to get through this. Just wait on us to come up with these solutions, if you will. We gave you the mask. We got a vaccine on the way. Never is it suggested that you put the power in your own hands and start doing something that we already know would take. I mean, granted, this all even people that are have some of these issues, you still have a high survival rate in terms of who's dying and who's not. From this particular virus. But nonetheless, we know, like, it's not opinion. We know that the people that are generally dealing with this the best are the people that are generally healthy. Take care of your body. Fuck the government.